Hi class. In this brief video, I want to just talk a little bit about proposals and proposal writing. I am using a textbook. I'm not requiring you to get it, but if you want to, you can. Winning Grants Step by Step. And I'll be sharing information from that textbook with you. In this first video, I just want to briefly talk about what a proposal is, talk a little bit about the process. When you are writing a grant proposal, you are requesting funds to complete a project, a program, a task of some sort. Your goal is to meet an unmet need. And so for this particular class, we're working with the Texas Tribune, and hopefully you've already read what the proposal assignment is, but you'll be writing a proposal to the Moody Foundation, and you are pretending that you are a Tribune Fellow, and you're seeking funds to add some type of program to the Fellows program now to enhance it, to meet an unmet need. Okay, and so when you are working on a proposal, you want to just begin thinking about what is the plan, because I don't know if you remember when Terry Quinn was talking with us during week 1, she mentioned that many times proposals aren't funded because the individuals who are reading it don't even know what you're talking about. So you want to make sure you have a clear plan, make sure your proposal is well written, make sure that you're thinking about the argument that you're making and how you are making it convincing. So when preparing a proposal, you want to do research. You want to identify an unmet need. And so during week 2, we'll be talking with fellows directly. And so the goal is that by that time you've thought about some things you may want to do. You can ask some questions. You can ask them questions about whether or not what you are thinking of proposing is even a good idea or would be beneficial, and and maybe they can even brainstorm with you. You determine a plan, determine whether there are potential partners. For this one, you're given funders that you'll write your proposal for, but in many scenarios, you would research different funders to determine whether or not it's something that they would fund, because essentially the individual organization seeking funds wants to make sure what their goals are, what their objectives are, meet or are in alignment with the funder. So these are some major components of a proposal. This can vary depending on the funding agency. Some people want more stuff, some people want less stuff. Foundations normally want far less information than government grants. But for example, a cover letter, an executive summary, a problem statement. You always want to identify what problem you are solving, what need you are meeting. Organizational background, they'll always want to know, about the organization, the goals and objectives, strategies, evaluation, your budget. And so essentially these things are included in almost every proposal. May not be worded that way, but that's the information that they're looking for. So then we have types of proposals. So the format and length will vary depending on the grant maker. Okay, so broadly speaking, there are 3 different kinds: a concept paper, which is generally a 2 or 3 page summary, a letter proposal, usually a 3 to 4 page description of the project, and then a full proposal, which includes, those most, if not all, most of those things listed a couple of slides back. So cover letter, proposal summary, and is often requested by foundations. Okay, and so I don't know if you remember when Terry Quinn was speaking, she mentioned that a lot of foundations now will query grant seekers, and so for example, for the Moody Foundation, you're writing a query letter explaining what it is that you want to write a grant proposal for, and then in real life, if they like the idea, then they will say yes, and it's your proposal. Okay, and so we'll be doing something similar, where you will query, you'll write a letter of interest, and you'll submit 2 different possible ideas, and then as a class we'll decide which idea we prefer, and that's the one you'll write your proposal for. So when conceiving your proposal, picture the readers of the grant as curious, caring, and educated people who may not be knowledgeable about your organization's issues. Be sure to use compelling facts, tell a story. Always keep in mind that a grant is not just a grant, it is investment. Okay, and so if I have $50,000 that I want to give someone, I'm probably not going to just close my eyes and randomly pick a name out of a hat. I have an idea of how I would like to see this money spent. And so, and that's what you're doing in your proposal. You are convincing me, the grantor, the funder, that your idea is something that I should put my money toward. So a couple of principles to follow when preparing a proposal: follow the guidelines, get the facts straight, do not make it so bleak that the reader sees no point. Be aware that many grant makers read the proposal summary first, follow closely by the proposal budget, keep it sweet and simple, get some honest feedback. Remember that one size does not fit all, plan ahead, and and demonstrate your interest in what you are writing. Use language that shows that this is something that you're really passionate about. Consider your audience. Use the things, if you guys learned in 1302 about rhetorical appeals. How are you appealing to them? How are you drawing them in? How are you persuading them to not just buy or agree with what you're saying, but to buy into it, to feel like, yeah, I really want to do this. Okay, and so proposal writing is essentially just argumentative writing. All right, so that is our intro video. If you have any questions, please let me know.